nigga, ain't he?
Man, I thought he was a real nigga in the sense that he smoked a lot of weed. That's about it. I didn't see this one. I did not see it coming. I, I didn't see cocaine in gay white dudes in the picture. I just didn't. All right, but let's roll the rest of this shit.
Cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice. You had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't his last.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
God damn. Like they thought they had some shit on them when they was parading Reverend Jeremiah Wright around out there. Like if they would have had this. What I mean, he said something where yeah, and I was just about to say he said something where he implied that they did have it. But I have a hard time believing that Fox News would sit on it. So maybe somebody had it. I know Fox News ain't have it. Fox News would have ran and tail. They would have ran tail that all day.
Well, you got to think about the politics of it, right? Fox News could have had this interview. Tucker Carlson could have had this interview the
And hey so guys, welcome. We're just peeking in on listening to Black conservatives. I find it very fascinating.
Chad died, and so
I find it very fascinating to listen to the discussion about how they're reacting to the Obama situation. They just watched that video.
When the movie came out,
they're talking about just politics in general, and I like to hear from
they could have recast him.
Our conservative brothers.
The movie, so I didn't get into the plot. Holy shit! I love the plot of the movie. Those bald-headed bitches got beat the fuck up by the blue watery Mexicans. Them watery Mexicans destroyed them bald-headed bitches, and I gotta say, I was happy to see it.
I didn't see the movie.
Really, what I was thinking about was the subtle, what they call the predictive programming of it. You guys remember after Biden won the election, and he had that meeting
subscribe,
with all
and share
the black
this video
leaders,
if you would.
And it was sort of a famous viral moment when he basically told the blacks, asked him, well, what's your black agenda? And he was like, listen, shit's fucked up out here. The Mexicans got more people than you now. You're going to have to start working with them. And then Hollywood puts out this movie where Wakanda gets, the women of Wakanda in particular get destroyed. by the watery Mexicans, and I was just sitting there. I was throwing
The
my
wet
eyes were probably
Mexicans.
huge watching this
It's
shit. Like,
crazy.
holy shit, this is dope, and it's dope for all the wrong reasons. Because at the end of it, first of all, Mexican Namor beat the shit out of Shuri. So, you know, Hollywood had to save her ass at the very end, but Mexican Namor beat the shit out of Shuri, as he rightfully should. And then at the end of it, when Namor's little girl, that chick that rolled with him, she asked him, "Why did you make a deal with Wakanda?" You know what he said that was so brilliant? He was saying, "Listen, Wakanda has nobody, and the world is going to come for them eventually, and they will have to turn to us." And I thought about that, and I was like, "You bald-headed bitches ain't got nobody." Holy shit. Holy shit. The world knows you bald-headed bitches ain't got nobody. And the watery Mexicans are coming. And so now I present to you Eric Adams and the Fall of New York City. Holy shit, it's happening. The watery Mexicans done landed in Brooklyn. And they brought some African foot soldiers. It's wild. They are taking over the city now.
All right. Now, while you just said that, what you said right there, I gotta pull up something that really hit the nail on the head. It was funny as hell. It's involving Andrew Schultz and our good friend Charlemagne the God, who you know, I say that very sarcastically, but I got to pull this up real quick. Because this sort of hits the nail on the head. It ain't exactly the angle that you went, but you're gonna see where this is going, and you're gonna like it if you haven't seen this. So let me pull this up really quick. This is them breaking down the movie.
Did you see Black Panther yet?
Yeah, no. Can you tell me the premise of it?
Grief.
What? Is it true that the more or less like the plot is about Mexicans trying to infiltrate a resource-rich land and steal the
No,
job?
they wanted the alliance, but couldn't get on the same page about why.
In terms of like their defense, did they build a wall? Like what were the things that they used to keep the Mexicans out?
Well, no, they definitely created a defense.
Yeah. Did they take the kids and then put them in like cages or whatever like that?
No,
Like,
no.
No.
Technically, they did try to trap Namor. They needed to dry him off.
Wait a fucking minute.
No, they needed to dry him off. They had to dry him out.
Was his back wet?
I mean, as much as that sounds like a joke, it's really not a joke.
What is Wakanda's foreign policy?
But they don't trade.
Immigrants.
They made that perfectly clear.
Is it like Trump's paradise?
Not too many black people fit to be Trump's paradise.
Yeah, but like remove color.
Maybe. No.
Bernard Mayweather
welcome
reading.
to anybody who stumbled into this room finally.
Couldn't quite see what I was.
Nice to see you. My
name
name's Tim. I'm your true slinger.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Is it? Hey, D-Dog, man, what's
in
up?
response to all of this, that
Good to
there
see
are
you.
solutions to this problem, but she said that Adams's rhetoric is, quote, alienating people. Some people
Yeah, I
have
was
accused
sure
him
I drove
of
everybody
demonizing
away the other day at
immigrants
my sing-along.
and not just addressing the funding.
Oops, you got an echo. No, you don't have an echo. All right. My settings are all goofed up again. Let me see. Advanced audio properties. Monitor and output. Close. There we go.
Something that could be resolved if we allow, for example, Venezuelans to get an extended TPS, temporary protective status, that they already have, but it was cut off some years back. If we get it extended, they have the right to work relatively soon.
Hey, D, are you getting any notifications when we go live, or any notifications that we're uploading episodes? Because my traffic blows right now, man.
And they become productive New Yorkers. I think that should be our effort.
Why doesn't Mayor Adams just say that rather than escalating the rhetoric in this way?
Well, look, I think he's fighting for the citizens of New York, and there is a budget impact in all of this, obviously, and we're trying to get these folks to work. Today, 20,000 or so young children went to school, and the federal money follows the kids wherever they go. So the federal government is doing some things. We're going back to Washington next week. We're doing a supplemental soon. In that supplemental, we should have additional help for the city of New York, the state of New York, and the country that's carrying the load of the migrants that are coming to our nation.
All right. That was a lot said there. The thing that jumped out at me is her more or less saying, well, why won't he just word it in that nice, friendly, cuddly way that you just did? Like that's kind of what you did.
And this is why having women speak for you as a man is bad. Right. I don't know if this is something endemic to female nature or if this is just like modern programming or whatever, but the things that women seem to want tend to be bad for men, generally speaking. And so when it comes to like making decisions for the group, having women in charge tends to lead to bad things for the men.
Yeah. Agreed. Let me get this clip up and ready to go. And that ain't it. My bad, y'all. I'm having some serious technical issues over here that I'm fighting through, but we got it. Okay, here we go. Shout out to Mr. Tolbert with the $10 super chat, says paying dues. Shout out to you.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want.
All right.
I don't see an ending to this.
Let me get this one back to the beginning. All right. Here we go.
And let me tell you something, New Yorkers.
All right, this is Eric Holder. Now, keep in mind when she said she liked the way that the immigrant sounding guy worded everything. She said, why didn't he just say it like that without all of that rhetoric that he used? So this is the words and the rhetoric that she had a problem with. So let's go.
Support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to.
Can you pause real quick?
The southern part of the border and come.
Now, this is one of the reasons why I understand that there are literally this is like a rainbow coalition of different nations and ethnicities crossing the border, but they are all coming through Mexico. And so when I speak about this, they are all therefore Mexican in my mind, because you came through Mexico. Mexico sent you. I don't give a fuck if you're a Haitian Mexican, a Nigerian Mexican, a Russian Mexican, a Singalese, whatever country of Mexico you come from. It doesn't matter what type of Mexican you are. They all have to go. And the fact that they all come through Mexico is so weird. But yeah, you're all Mexicans in this joke. That's how I'm rolling.
Globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We got a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted. All of us. And so I say to you, as I turn it over to you, this is some of the most educated, some of the most knowledgeable, probably more of my commissioners and deputy commissioners and chiefs live in this community. So as you ask me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played. How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us? How many of you
now here's where he's full of shit.
Movement to say we're seeing.
All right, how's he full of shit there?
Now he's saying stop the movement. He is talking about people organizing to stop the migrants coming from Mexico, from Texas to New York City. Remember, this is a program that's happening in maybe 2 states. So I think Florida and Texas have done this and are continuing to do this. I know Texas is still doing this, but because Greg Abbott has decided that since liberals vote for overwhelming immigration, and then they also have what you call sanctuary cities, where they refuse to support any type of immigration legal policies, then if they're going to encourage all these immigrants to just simply come into Texas, well, we're going to send them up to you now. And so people like Eric Adams, he doesn't want to stop them from coming into a place like Texas. He just doesn't want them to come into his house to deal with it. So it's like, just like a woman, you're going to vote for some shit that don't even affect you. It's going to hurt me, but you just like what you like. And now you get to vote for your bullshit and I got to suffer. So now we put the suffering in your lap and all of a sudden.
This is my backyard situation. This is exactly what's going on here, right? It's not in my backyard, right? Conservatives have been saying this stuff for I don't know how long, that we've got people coming across the border that are from 150 plus countries, right? And not all of us are our friends, right? So, and now Eric Adams is like, oh, if the light bulb comes on, like this is a great realization.
But he's not trying to turn off the spigot, basically. He wants them. Go ahead.
No. What I was going to remind people of is, and I don't know what type of politics happened, because I know somebody must have gotten threatened behind the scenes, because this was the best part of the whole immigration busing issue. When this first happened, one of the first places they sent the busload of immigrants was Martha's Vineyard. You know, that northeastern liberal enclave where all the rich political and Hollywood people have like houses and foreign made staff. And, you know, I think the Obamas just threw a party up there not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped the immigrants off, the illegal immigrants off at Martha's Vineyard, right? And they didn't build a shelter system for them. They didn't house them in their local motel system. They didn't pay for those people to become a part of the Martha's Vineyard population. They got them niggas up out of there the next day. But now they're in the black neighborhoods. They're in the poor neighborhoods. They're basically being put in the areas where black people can't really fight back. And then not for nothing, like I'm out here in Staten Island, New York sometimes, and they're having protests in Staten Island. They got these people out here, and well, there's black people in Staten Island, and they're basically putting them like close to the black people everywhere. It's like everywhere you can find a poor neighborhood, we're gonna dump these niggas here too. And the white folk are the only ones really out here protesting and actually getting into like, you know, fights at the protest or whatever. Black folk aren't really protesting it, but black people are having to deal with it because, you know, these are your new neighbors and these people are not of us. They don't respect our way of life. I was just scrolling through Twitter and I was watching a video of somebody like grilling a rat or something on a barbecue. It's probably in the Bronx somewhere, but like we're about to bring Tijuana up here.
He didn't have one of those food stands where he was selling food. It was just for his personal consumption, right?
I mean, does it even matter?
I just hope that they ain't selling rats on the street in New York.
One, I'm pretty sure they are at this point, and two, does it even matter if it was his own personal rat supply? Like, just think about. I need you to think about that for a minute. I need you to really envision this lifestyle choice for a minute here. So now, on the streets of New York, people are just grilling their own rats for personal consumption, right? Like, fuck the whole industry and selling rats. Like, that's okay. Like that makes it cool. Like, long as they're not selling them, huh?
I just was hoping that New York wasn't down that bad where people got rats on the little rotating thing, you know. Nah. I just was hoping that they eat guinea pigs. I was just hoping it ain't came to that. That's all. But no,
it doesn't matter if it's store bought or homemade. A rat roti is damn bad. All right. It doesn't matter the scenario that you got this rat roti. If you're buying rat roti from the roti man in the truck, you're down bad, and the city's down bad right now.
Oh man. What does this say? Chukwuwu Igwe. Hopefully I said your name right. He says, when virtue signaling goes wrong, comedy happens. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that.
These last $2. I'm not gonna lose.
All right. Let's get back into it.
Seeing what this mayor is trying to do, and they're destroying New York City. It's gonna come to your neighborhoods. All of us are going to be impacted by this. I said it last year when we had 15,000. I'm telling you now, with 110,000, the city we knew we're about to lose. And we're all in this together, all of us. Staten Island is saying, send them out to Manhattan. Manhattan is saying, send them out to Queens. Queens is saying, send them out to Brooklyn. No, it's not the game we can play.
But nobody's saying send them home.
Right. Yeah.
That's the wild part about it. Nobody's gonna say send them home, but they all want to send them somewhere else. And you see how, like, and this is just
nobody
sort of
wants
the
them in their
spirit of
backyard, like
left-wing
I said,
politics.
right?
It's like you want all these fanciful things, but you don't want to have to suffer the burden of them.
AKA Tim. We're just listening to
exactly. Shout out to
talking about the immigration crisis.
Chicago wasn't having it though. Shout out to
New
you.
York.
Appreciate you putting 5 on
Eric
it.
Adams losing his mind.
To you,
Chicago is
120,000. 120,000 they've had since January 1st.
Because I don't know. I didn't know nothing about that if Chicago was or wasn't having it. But so they getting overran too. In other words.
The only people who are actually protesting this and going to jail here and there
share
are
and
a
subscribe.
couple of white folk.
Do all that stuff down there for me.
All right, put it this way:
Thank
if you can riot to defend your so-called black neighborhood, your black lives, with some retarded shit like the George Floyd incident, why ain't no? I'm not even gonna say it on the air, bro. I'm not even gonna say it on the air, but I'm just saying, like, you know. Police stations get burned down because of George Floyd, and you niggas all of a sudden forgot how to play with fire.
I'm not muted anymore.
Because when you said that, what popped in my head is the image. I know you saw it of the immigrants sleeping at the police station. Was that in
No,
your
but
head?
I would never. What are you talking? No, what do you think I'm some kind of monster? What are you even? How dare you, sir?
Shit. I mean, those of you who haven't seen it, that's probably something we need to pull out too. It's a video of I guess it was a police officer just talking about. It's funny, he was complaining about the work conditions of the NYPD or whoever the hell, I forgot exactly where, but all throughout the police station, it was just cots, look like air mattresses or little pallets made on the floor. It had it had to be over hundreds of just immigrants just sleeping on the floor at the police station.
And Salty Balls, he says Chicago isn't having it. Your governor of your whole state just signed a bill so that illegals can now apply for police department jobs. So
oh my God!
One of these niggas going to shoot you in a justifiable homicide.
One of those towns is now allowing illegals to apply for police officer jobs. Oh my God!
Damn! How does that even work? The illegal immigrants can become.
I'm
the
trying to
police
set up
officer.
another stream here. Hang on.
That's a weird one.
How does the governor of New Mexico decide that you can't have your guns in Albuquerque for the next 90 days?
Oh, that was crazy. Did you hear that? That's what my banner
just happened. I don't think you might not have seen it yet. That's something I just saw early this morning. Yeah, but the governor's, because of some shooting, some little girl got killed.
Declared an emergency.
The governor decided that your concealed carry permits are revoked for the next 90 days. So you can have a gun, but you just can't walk around with it like you
can't have it
to do in the state of New Mexico, and specifically in Albuquerque and like the surrounding county or something.
Just suspended constitutional rights. How you like that?
All right. Now the women at the View gave a goofy ass take on the whole situation. So let's roll this one. This one is I put this image in the thumbnail because this is
the View.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Collective intelligence of
all right,
like
I'm just gonna
17.
roll it. I don't even want to set the shit up. But all right, here we go.
So, this may sound like a New York story, but it really isn't, because the migrant situation is a country story for the United States. And comments from New York City Mayor Eric Adams at Town Hall this week commented on how the migrant crisis is affecting the city. It's getting a lot of attention. He needs money, and he's out there asking for help. Watch.
He needs money. Money.
I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. We got a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted. It's going to come to your neighborhoods. All of us are going to be impacted by this. I said it last year when we had 15,000. I'm telling you now, with 110,000, the city we knew.
My name's Adam Detra.
We're about to lose.
I'm a sculptor.
A little dramatic, isn't it? Seems a bit dramatic.
A bit
He's got
dramatic.
a flair for drama.
Oh my God.
But he has been critical of the Biden administration for months. He doesn't get support from the government, he's saying. And the Republicans love this, because this is right up their alley for somebody like a New York sanctuary city to be complaining about migrant problem. So let me ask you a question. Is he right? Who should take the blame for all of this now? Because there are about 100,000 migrants in New York City right now, and people keep coming. You have to understand, these are desperate people. These are not people who are coming here because they, feel like it. They're not tourists. No,
I'm gonna back it up. So I don't know if you was able to hear what was going on here. But they started out, they was saying the mayor, Eric Adams, got to being a bit dramatic, talking about the gravity of the situation and everything. And now they're saying these people aren't tourists; they're coming here for a better life or something like that. So I'll back it up some. How did you bet?
And the Republicans love this, because this is right up their alley for somebody like a New York sanctuary city to be complaining about migrant problem. So let me ask you a question. Is he right? Who should take the blame for all of this now? Because there are about 100,000 migrants in New York City right now, and people keep coming. You have to understand, these are desperate people. These are not people who are coming here because they, you know, feel like it. They're not tourists.
No, the majority of them are coming from Venezuela. They're also coming
Which
from
is a
Africa.
mess. Yeah.
They're coming from war-torn countries and politically torn countries, and they're looking for refuge. And I thought this country, with its big, you know, Statue of Liberty, give me your week and all of this.
Oh,
is supposed to be the
please,
country that
Sonny.
accepts people.
Yes.
And I'm disappointed in Mayor Adams. I understand that there's a problem.
Oh, so stupid, these people.
Lawmakers in New York also set aside.
All right. This is going back to the it's turning into the age-old thing where she's making the case. She didn't put black on it, but I think what was embedded into what she was saying, and I think where it comes from when black people talk about this, is that we're not supposed to be those that exclude people. We got to be open. We got to be welcoming. And, you know, because we were the ones who were excluded or this or that or blah, blah, blah. So I think, like, I think with a lot of female and or liberal analysis, that's where it comes from. They're in their mind, to try to steel man their argument. We don't want to make the mistakes of the past, so we gotta let, you know, anything go in terms of you know, who's in this country legally or illegally or otherwise or whatever. That's more or less what I gather from her trying to put the pieces together in that way, that we're supposed to be the United States with the Lady Liberty, and bring you sick, you tired, or whatever the hell the quote is. You know, it's like, there's a limit on that shit. There's a limit, and there's rules and regulations on that shit.
Yeah, damn straight there is. And they're supposed to come in legally a certain way in a line. What about the people that have been waiting? Plus, these people are not vetted.
You know, you have to be very
They're going to wind up like
careful
the people down here in Kensington
information you
Park.
disseminate on these public airwaves, but that thought isn't a self-originating thought. Like no nation will on its own decide that the future of its people lies in being flooded by another group of people. You will never come to that conclusion on your own as just a natural being, right? Whether an individual or even a nation. So be wary of that very concept, and you must ask yourself, you know, cui bono, who benefits, right? So I'm not going to go too much deeper than that, but you know, remember Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne the God, that whole, you know, my Wakanda is good, but your Wakanda is bad type of thing. Now, women in particular are very, very, very susceptible to this. And you know, I forget where I was having this conversation, but I was talking about this sort of basic male-female difference. Men have the hero's journey, essentially, right? Like for every adult male that is like useful and liked or respectable in some capacity, that is a sign that this man has been through things. He's been tested, and he's proven himself to some degree that, you know, one, he's an adult functional male out in the world, and then two, he's got like the signs of success and respect or whatever, you know, plaques on the wall or whatever. You know, he's done things and people know that. That age in her life is kind of determined by her looks or a man's sexual desire for her in that capacity. Outside of that capacity, men can quickly lose interest in a woman. And so their female struggle is very different. They have no hero's arc that is a part of natural female culture. Like the hero's journey is a uniquely male thing. And what I think is because women have almost no base to kind of relate to that sort of thing, they are very, very casually like dismissive of the male in general. Like that's what the idea of male, that's one of the elements of male disposability. Women can't really relate to a male struggle. So when women are voting
right, and they
for
don't find
an
it
entire
useful
army of men to simply live in their country, they can't conceive that they're inviting an army to kill their own men.
Yes.
It'll never occur to them.
No, they won't. They won't figure it out that they're an invading force that are going to kill, rape,
time to time.
and
Sometimes
plunder
great
and take
amounts of
the
men
women.
must be killed, and we call that war. And women are inviting war into our house right now.
Yeah, it's subversion because they're feelings oriented and they don't think.
Man, well said, well said. Black Thoughts in the building says the black replacement theory ushered in by black women. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. But all right. We're gonna roll some more of this tape. Man, that was some deep shit you said there.
Yeah, what's true?
Deep shit.
Fucked up, right? But like, I've thought about this a little bit. Like, it's not even, like sometimes you come up with these harsh conclusions and it sounds like a hatred. I don't say this because I hate women. I truly try to understand what women are at their base. But once you get to that conclusion about what women are at their base, it makes perfect sense why every other culture that's been worthy of note has actually had a restrictive role for their women, because women have always represented a chaotic element.
Well,
chaos
look at more women in government.
Civilization.
Every place where something is screwed up, women are in charge. They're totally screwing Maine up.
Last legislative session.
How much?
$1.5 billion.
He says he needs 12.
He says he needs 12, but 1.5 billion is nothing to sniff at. $140 million in federal funding from shelters has already been received. And let's remember that immigrants are a record share of U.S. workers. At this point, 1 in 5 workers last year were born outside the U.S. to parents who aren't American citizens. The share of immigrants in the workforce rose to 18.1% last year. And so immigrants aren't coming here just to play around. They're coming here for a better life.
Yeah.
And I think we should
barf.
Well, stop right there. Stop right there. If the immigrants are coming here for a better life, what are your sons and husbands and brothers and fathers here for?
Well, no,
like
there's
this idea that the pie goes on forever, and not to pick a fight, but I think these two concepts are very related. Remember when BGS and this was on your panel, BGS and
all right, listen, guys, I got to go down to the mailbox. I'm going to put her on autopilot, but just keep listening. I'll be back. And like, share, subscribe.
This is how nations
do that stuff, okay? Please, for me.
Real, because you think we can all pay for everyone together. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I'm trying to play that conversation back in my head about money not being real. We were having a financial conversation. It had nothing to do with this immigration thing, but I'm saying the two concepts are very much similar. The idea that there is no finite thing. Everything is finite. Money is finite, and in order for it to be finite, it must be real to some degree. And so you play with this idea of money not being real, then you very easily lead to the idea that we can pay for everybody because money ain't real. Yeah.
One, it's been a broken system, and everybody across the political spectrum
For
years and years it's been a problem. So neither party has come in and fixed it. But right now, when you mention those jobs, you're right. There are 500 jobs waiting upstate in farming areas, and the permits are not coming through DC.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of disingenuous when she said it's been a problem for years and neither party have come in and fixed it. And it's like, one party has been trying to move the needle in the right direction as far as fixing it, and the other party has been actively, fighting for the thing that Eric Adams is complaining about. So that was
more or
disingenuous.
less. Yeah, and not only that.
Neither party wants to fix this, but neither party has fixed this. Yeah, because one party keeps sabotaging the fix. So yeah.
Well, now as I become older and more jaded in my political philosophy, I realize how dark and evil the news actually works on a broad mass programming level. The point of her saying this and the point of the media being stuck in this position for the last 50, 40 years, while ever so slightly drifting to the left, and now the drift is a full-on flood. Now that we're flooding to the left, the purpose of her saying that is to keep the viewing population frozen. That's why she says that. So we can all get comfortable being frozen while we're being flooded. We must sit in place and never feel a sense of urgency while we're being steadily flooded with essentially enemy invaders. And I say this as plainly as you can use the word. There will be conflict. There's already, I'm scrolling through Twitter now because this morning I saw a video that just popped up randomly of a fight at a migrant shelter in NYC where it was like some chubby black dude was a security guard and he was trying to break up some fight and it was too many of them. And I don't really know how or, this fight breaks out, shit happen, but the video starts up where the black dude's running away and the migrants are yelling, "Kill the Negro, kill the Negro."
What?
Now, it was only one version of that video with audio, and so far I can't find it again. I keep seeing the video itself, but that one with the audio I'm still looking for. And this is gonna get really ugly soon. But you bitches keep voting for your latte life and your sexy Saturdays and summertime dottery and shit. And we're not gonna save you. We're gonna have our hands full.
Mayor Adams is going to Kathy Hochul and saying, "You got to help me." And she's like, "We're not going to call anything into session," which if this is an emergency and we're all saying these are lives at stake, come back from your break, or whatever it is, and sit down and deal with it. That's what they need to do right now. And then the federal government needs to help them. This needs to be, let's sit at the table. We're not fixing it all in one day, but let's fix this.
Can I ask a question of Alyssa for a second? My understanding of the Republican Party and the conservative movement is all about states' rights and states. So all of a sudden they want help from the federal government. How come?
Well, I wouldn't really frame it that way. I'd say this. I think that New York is finally getting a small taste of what border states have dealt with for decades. And this is a Biden problem right now because he's the president. This was an issue under Trump. It's been an issue for 25 plus years. We've not had major immigration reform in this country in decades. But here's the thing. My family came through Ellis Island. We're immigrants from Lebanon. Like, I believe immigration makes this country stronger, but we need legal immigration. We need a system that actually works.
We used to have it.
We used to have it. Yeah. We do need to secure the border. And by the way, I disagree that it's building the wall. The cartels will go under it. They'll go over it. It's also, we're not a country of walls. But we do need to secure it.
Oh, shut up.
Fentanyl comes across
your house has walls.
Well, she was making sense until the wall statement. It's like she had to come back and not lose the audience.
Well, she wasn't, because she was making a pro-immigrant argument. And let me say this.
Legal immigration,
fuck that.
Though, right?
No, fuck that. Immigration doesn't make America stronger. It makes immigrants stronger.
Explain that. If we get other people's best and brightest through the legal selection process,
they would have been at home living in a mud hut, making a computer out of sand and water. They would be at home wasting away their alleged brilliance, banging rocks together. We make them better. Fuck out of here.
I can't exactly argue with that one. But okay, well, let me ask you this question. What's the logic or reasoning then for any immigration, legal or otherwise, for somebody who's educated with skills of some sort? What's the reason or logic for that anyway? Then, if it's not beneficial to America, why the hell do we ever start doing it?
Well, now we're getting dark, but there have always been people who wanted to control this country in one way or another. And one of the easiest way to control people is to demoralize them. And so that means, get them to not see the value in their own history, their own native land or whatever, their own traditions. And then once you have that, you can now begin to introduce them to, intermingling with other groups of people, which will always lower their native attachments to their own traditions and history and country.
Long story short, the small hats integrate. I'm gonna say it. The small hats want to integrate America and get everybody else all mixed in while they keep their ethno state in
no, I was gonna say the corporate international interest. There are multinational globalist interests. 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 There are mul I don't know what size hat they happen to wear. They might be small, who knows? I'm reformed now. I don't even talk like that on air no more. But I'm just saying there are some interests who always figure that if we could sort of weaken the country, we can rule the country easier. And without even having to like kill all your people, because that's hard and bloody and you might win actually. So if we do it this way, by the time you fight back, you won't even be strong enough to put up a good fight.
That's something that I hadn't thought about. Because I mean, obviously, like any novice, any layperson can easily connect the dots. How illegal immigration, people coming over, walking over, crawling, swimming over from poor third world countries, flooding into a first world country. It don't take that much intelligence or knowledge to understand why that's a problem. But I guess that was something that I kind of bought hook, line, and sinker, that when it comes to, illegal immigrants, people coming over with skills, that was a needed thing. But now you got me thinking, well, why would it be needed necessarily? It seems like, I don't know. It seemed like you would try to do more. I don't know. you would want whatever job that the immigrants are taking. I mean, why does this country need more workers? I mean, more workers with a certain level of skill, certain level of education. Are people like are Americans are not educated enough to fill these roles, or not capable enough, or do educational? I don't want to say. I don't know. Start talking like I'm talking about build more educational programs, but I mean, it seems like there's an in-house way to solve the problem, that you need another where you don't necessarily need the engineer from another country.
Well,
but anyway, go ahead.
So California is the first place in the history of like the universe to have official Trans History Month, right? But the kids can't read, and we need an educated workforce for California, which is essentially the tech base of our country. Do you realize the retardation that's happening? And this level of retardation is not accidental; it's intentional. Yes, we focused on all the non-important things, and then when we have a population who is incapable of doing the important things, oh damn, you know what? We got to bring in these other people because they're smart and they work hard. And you guys, you're just not smart and you just don't work hard as you used to. It makes sense, doesn't it? No.
Shout out to Brumman. Says literally Marvel's Secret Invasion in the open. That is an interesting concept. You're gonna make me go watch that. I watched like half of the first episode and stopped. It looked like it had a chance at being good, so I may go back and watch that. But
these last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Says my father came here legally because America needs doctors. Nigerians are here for STEM jobs. I was of the view that we apparently needed more doctors. So people went through the process, became citizens over here, and worked jobs that that was needed, that needed to be filled, and that's what it was for. I bought that. It's interesting if that's not the case, but go ahead.
I'm not gonna force this commenter to like defend his people or whatever. Like, listen, your people came to be doctors. It's fine. I'm not gonna argue with you. However, I'm reminded of a conversation I heard on SKC's panel. Now, SKC has a panelist by the name of Snake Man, African guy. He might even be Nigerian. I think he may be. I don't recall, but he's from Western Africa somewhere abouts. And Snake Man is giving us a very, very interesting picture of the dynamics of Africa. And while I respect Chuckle's comment about his family coming here from Nigeria to be doctors, his tribe Because Nigeria, Africa, broadly speaking, is based more on tribes and clans than national boundaries. Like, the white man drew those lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so his tribe would never suffer a competing tribe taking over all the doctor slots for his tribe's hospital. They would never consider such things. Because on a tribal level, you understand that these things represent a controlling interest over your group and the eventual subjugation of your group. But come to America and be a doctor. Fuck it. Everybody come here and get high on the hog. We can all die together, bro.
Tens of millions of Americans. This is something
that's different, though. I don't think you should put those together.
I think so, because we have a porous border where you can get in through many parts of.
Wait, only back up a little bit.
Wait
a minute.
It's sort of where you can get in.
Back up.
Comes across the border that's killing tens of millions of Americans. To secure it, there needs to be a process. Fentanyl comes across the border that's killing tens of millions of Americans. This is something
that's different, though. I don't think you should put those together.
I think so, because we have a porous border where you can get in through many parts of, thousands of miles of unsecured border.
It sort of demonizes migrants who are coming here.
Well, no, the vast majority of fentanyl that gets in this country comes through the southern border. It's not coming from migrants or from asylees. It's coming jobs. Correct. It's coming from drug cartels who exploit our broken system to get fentanyl into the country.
No, that's why I said I like her more than the other ones. Okay, you decoded some bullshit that she kind of that floated by me that she was saying. Okay, fair enough. But they're to the point where they don't even want her to bring up our weak border that has all the illegal immigrants coming in. They bringing in all the fentanyl and all the other shit too along, that's how all that smuggled in. And she's like, no, don't lump those two together. Don't lump those two together. Those are separate issues. Those are the bad immigrants. The ones that are sleeping at the police station and stuff. Those are the good ones that just want a better life. But so they don't even want her to lump those two together.
And even that is like weirdly feminized thinking. Like, why do we assume that they are the good ones? Just because you saw them laying there? Like, do you watch them 24/7? Do you know what they're doing when they're not sleeping at the police station? You just assume they're good because the TV told you to think that. I start out assuming that they're all illegal because they're all illegal. And that isn't good. So, I mean, that's the female brain for you. And about this chick on the screen, they have her there because she is essentially supposed to be the conservative female voice on the liberal female panel, for balance or whatever. But, I distrust women, broadly speaking. And my theory about conservative women is that most women are only as conservative as, they were trained to be by whatever men around them. But they aren't necessarily inherently conservative. So I don't really trust her. But she's pretty and she's got nice hair.
Yeah, I mean, I think what she is falls under the line, probably the epitome of a controlled opposition. She's there just to mouth the words or the diet version, the diet not so hard hitting words of the opposition, so they can have something to play tennis back and forth with, a little friendly softball game, so to speak. So that's kind of what's going on. But that alone makes her not as bad as the rest of them. But there's problems when you scratch beneath the surface. So yeah.
We need to prioritize asylum seekers. We need to prioritize migrants who are coming here to work and make it easier for them to come here and do that. And then we need to actually secure the border so we don't have bad guys coming through who want to cause harm to us.
And why not? Well, so listen, there are 4 countries that are providing where most of these migrants are coming from. One is Venezuela, where there is a communist dictator, Maduro.
She just sound like the ops in there. she sound like you just look at her, hear her voice. It's like, oh, we already know what you about to say. We know where you fall on this.
Well, Whoopi is not there. I guess she's out with COVID or whatever. But here's the other thing about this too, and this is where this is the black element of it. Black people, we are told to have ethnic insecurities with white people. You don't want white people taking stuff from you. You want white people treating you a certain way and respecting your stuff or whatever. But we're not supposed to have that same ethnic defensiveness when it comes to other ethnicities. And therefore, we will now be consumed by other ethnicities because, politically speaking, we have no position to argue against it. Otherwise, we're being like the racist white people.
Yeah.
And remember, I'm the guy who says I want white power. Fuck that. If white power is the thing that saves me from the shit you about to do, then give me the white power that you would deny me. The last thing they want for a black man to have is full white power because it's the one thing that'll save us all.
Is Nicaragua, where there is a communist dictator, Ortega. Another is Cuba, where there is a communist dictatorship of over 60 years. Another one is Haiti, where it's complete bedlam, violence, danger, war. And so this is not a federal problem. This is not an American problem. This is a regional problem. This is a world problem. And I think it takes everybody sitting together, not being performative. What is being performative? Sending busloads of migrants to Kamala Harris's house or to Martha's Vineyard, or what Greg Abbott just did, the governor of Texas just did, putting those drowning devices inside the Rio Grande, to cause harm. Which
have you seen that real quick? Have you seen those so-called? Oh, there it is. There it is. Look,
I couldn't wait to ask you.
A chain of water balloons. Well, not water balloons, but basically a chain of inflated devices, some spherical devices that act as a wall. And I hope that's like razor or something. I hope there's some sharp metal up there somewhere. But
you want a blade
it's a water
spinning back and
wall.
forth.
That's
That little metal part in between the orange balls. You want that to be like a spinning blade.
They don't have to spin because it's too much money with mechanical. Somebody's gonna have to fix it. But as long as it's a sharp blade that's loosely spinning, like it'll spin on its own if you cut yourself. But it don't have to spin like mechanically. You know what I mean? It just has to be sharp enough and some kind of rotary able device.
Blade in between
that way it can keep cutting. And like imagine you get up there and you slip and you fall on the blade, and as you're falling down, the blade turns with you as it cuts you. That's what I envision.
Okay. My question with this is, because let me back up some, because it looked like they're trying to build a wall in the water, like
inside the Rio Grande.
Like what exactly are what exactly are they going for here? She called them drowning devices.
A barrier.
Well, the Rio Grande, you can cross the Rio Grande mostly on foot, and especially water is tidal, so there's high tide and low tide, even with rivers, especially like down at that region where you're closer to the ocean. But you can cross on foot in certain places at certain times, and so if you want to keep people out,
go ahead.
If you want to keep people out, you put obstacles in their way.
Hey, why she call them drowning devices? It looked like an obstacle. I mean, if that water's not that deep,
she's fighting for the future of her ethnicity and sacrificing the future of ours. And she's calling them drowning devices so she can play on our female sympathies. But, lucky for us, I have no female sympathy, and I'm good if they drown. That's the price of admission. Maybe one of you going to have to slip and fall on a blade.
Ouch.
Cause harm, which
that's the truth, though, right? If you're coming into the country illegally, you risk your skin, right?
To get rid of. That's performative. What we need is legislation. We need cooperation with other countries. We need cooperation with refugee resettlement countries.
No.
Okay, she's saying we need legislation. Okay, all illegal immigrants shall be deported immediately to their country of origin.
her legislation
right, and that's already a law. We just choose not to enforce. So the idea that we need legislation. And this is what I was talking about on my stream earlier, because I just ran down a couple of stories that were crazy. But basically, we're not going to be able to legislate or even vote our way out of this trap that we're in. Things are going to have to get really harsh. And what good is legislation for a nation unwilling to enforce its own laws? We can write everything we want on paper.
Right,
we can write the goddamn Constitution on the back
we
of
all
cereal
have laws
boxes,
already about
but it
all
won't
this
mean
stuff.
anything if
They're
you're not willing to
enforcing
force the letter of the law.
Correct. He's correct. Exactly right.
All right. Chuck Wu saying open borders are incompatible with a welfare state. I agree with you. Yeah. If you're saying that you can't have welfare for all pretty much, and then open borders, and then now the welfare it's just growing into, you know, perpetuity and infinity forever. It's like, so yeah. So I agree 100%. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that.
That's the one I like the best. Probably.
Let me get back to this. Any other super chats that I may have missed? Put them up on the screen because I can't see them. They're not automatically saving them for me, so they just float up until forever and then they disappear.
Share, please, if you
so put them on the screen if you got them saved.
Always helps the algorithm bring more people in so we can have a chat.
Wait, hold on, shit.
Listen to this stimulating conversation and watch Drug Zombies.
That's what I meant to do.
Programs worldwide, so not everybody comes to the United States. I do think that the federal government is doing many things. They have prioritized asylum seekers. They've instituted a parole program specifically for those 4 countries. But frankly,
to Goku asking why I time people out, weak shit. If you're talking directly to me, I don't know what the hell. I don't know who. I got like 1 million moderators, so somebody timed you out. It wasn't me, and I don't know what you got timed out for. So there's that. I don't know, but hopefully the moderators are being fair and just with the timing out. All right. Don't time somebody out with an opinion you don't like. If they just trolling too stupidly and just saying reckless shit that just bad to be in the chat room, then yeah, I mean, make the call on that. There's certain things the things you see me walking on eggshells or hood, you know, even hood tread carefully not to say certain things. You know, we don't want that in the chat room. You know, we don't want stuff in the chat room that'll help get the channel demonetized or hit, like stuff like that. Time that out. But all right, but other than that, let it rock, or bring it to my attention in some way. I don't know. Anyway, let's play ball.
you know, I think we need to find, and we've dealt with this before. I lived in Miami. I was an immigrant in Miami in the 80s. You'll remember when we had the Mariel boat lift. Yes. 125,000 Cubans came in a matter of 6 months. It puts tremendous stress on a city, on a community, on the social services. They need to be resettled elsewhere.
They need to be out. We're this massive country.
Well, and it's only going to get worse with global warming and climate change because people can't live in certain parts of this world.
Well,
and we'll all be going to.
But the interesting thing is, this is a great thing. This should be a great issue for Republicans. I mean, in terms of Cubans, Cuban Americans are voting for Republicans by and large, right? Especially because of that boat lift and because they feel like this country gave them a step up. Yet Republicans are the ones that are shipping them off.
Yeah, but the problem here is not the voters. The problem is we're also having a problem in schools. We have a teacher shortage. Yeah, but we have like 20,000 new students hitting the New York City school systems with no Spanish-speaking helpers to help these kids learn. I mean, like, we don't have the resources.
Well, he wanted the job, so do your job, Mayor.
See, this is this is why I tell you I don't even pay attention to anything that's really being said in the mainstream, other than to comment on how retarded and evil they are. But the entire conversation around this begins with "we have to help." Only women think like this. We don't have to help. We can let them suffer at home. We can stop them from coming. We can defend our country with our lives and our guns. But that's what men do, and women are running the show. And it's not just women are running the show. It's a lot more complicated than that. Because, like I said, there are dark forces at play here. But on the surface of things, we're really being dominated by the feminine energy right now.
He's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Is in the chat room, and
feminine energy is
definitely
chaos.
The link is in the chat room.
Simple as that.
Anybody can come on up, and and
beta males.
Goku. Now I see what was going on because I had to scroll up. You were saying you're spamming the hell out the damn chat room with the same comment, and that was just getting ridiculous. So that's probably why you got
Goku, we're talking about black people's futures, and you keep worrying about like white people. Like, who cares if the white man stole this land? You live here, and your kids are going to have to live somewhere. It doesn't matter. You know what? I hope the white man do it all over again if he had the chance to, because my kids live here. I don't understand why this weird like antipathy towards white people when your kids are the ones on the line. I mean, but maybe it's weird to worry about black people's future. That's like coon shit, you know. And I swear I'm in such an awkward place with this because on the one hand, You know, I was talking about the whole Obama thing, and I hate you niggas and shit. But on the other hand, it's like, well, do you want to live or not? I hate you. Yeah, I hate you. But do you want to live or not?
You know, and I think I've said this to you before. Some of the arguments that you make, even though you're incredibly critical of black people and normally hit the nail on the head, some of your arguments, when you really break it down, I think it does come from a place of more or less, you know, giving a damn about black people's outcome or future in this
Good
country.
To see you, man.
Because I mean, because you know, because other than
We're
that,
just checking out
else
Black
would you care
Conservative Thought
about? You
this morning.
know, most of us, most of the
glad I
political
didn't piss
leadership and
everybody
all
off
of
this
that,
week.
basically on board to
Just
usher in
paranoid.
are the people that's going to replace us. It's like why give a shit? You know, by the time all that's done, you'll be old and in a rocking chair on your porch by the time the shit is about done.
I don't know how women approach the conversation of legacy and lineage and future. Like along with the whole hero's journey conversation, right? It's a very male thing to learn a skill, become useful at that skill, to make a place for yourself in this world based on your skill and ability, and then to envision your son, even if he doesn't carry on your skill, you've now positioned him in a place where he can carry the respectability of the family's name into another generation, right? And so now this is the essence of like living forever through your children. You can build something that can be maintained and carried forward. So when people look back at it, the beginning of your family's success can start with you. You know, that's like a very male conversation, and I don't know if women can see it that way. And so when I think about this whole issue of like, you know, I'm not even going to be around here by the time a lot of these things happen, you know, I really do feel a sadness for what has happened to Black people over the years. And I just imagine what we could have become had we stayed on a more productive path, because I do worry about the future. I'm country first, but I can't say that I have no love for whatever this amorphous collective that we call Black people. I can't say I have zero love for it, but I hate what we've become.
Yeah.
That was very, very well said. Very well said. So we're about to pass the mic around. I got to step away for a second, but Black Thoughts, I brought you up first, so you go ahead. You got the mic. If he done, just pass it to Nate after Black Thoughts. But I got to step away for a second. But go ahead, y'all got it.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up, bro?
What up, dog?
Yeah, this is gonna play out fairly interesting. Black people, they just think that these are allies against white supremacy. That's
which is
that's the long and short of the way they're viewing this. I just texted my buddy just to see what he would say. I said, do you think that all these immigrants are going to stand with Black people against white supremacy? And his text back was yes.
Spank
and
that
I'm
like
like, wow,
me,
you
man.
people really have
Appreciate
never dealt with these people.
Good to see you.
Like, these people are anti-Black.
I was getting
the only
lonely.
reason they're here is to replace Black people. Like, if they don't pay attention. Those people don't have the sentiment of we hate white people. Like, but they do have the sentiment of we hate Black people. It's funny how people don't see this. It's really weird, but I'll leave it at that for now. And go ahead, little Big Nate.
Hey, what up, Black Thoughts? Is that Devin?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What up, Dev? How you doing, man? Oh, the good hood conservative. What up, dog? Man, well.
Morning, Nate.
You should have been here before when they watched the Tucker interview with that male guy about Obama being crack smoking and gay. Oh shit, you missed some good stuff, man. I missed some of it in the beginning. I wish I'd have heard it. I'll probably go back and listen to it later.
There's been a growing minority of Black men screaming out. I'm one of the loudest voices. 5-6 years ago, I'm screaming out, Black man, please leave the Democrat Party. You don't have to become a Republican. You have to become a conservative. But this party destroys everything they touch and everyone. Every city that is on fire right now is run by a Democrat. Most of them run by black Democrats.
That's right.
And
That's
most
right.
of them are black female
Absolutely
Democrats.
right.
These cities are on fire. New Orleans, San Francisco, St. Louis,
Chicago.
Formerly
they're all
Chicago.
turning into shithole
well, that's
countries.
Brandon Johnson now. Someone even worse.
Because we're importing the shitholes.
Atlanta was on
the
fire.
shittiest part of the shitholes.
You're mad at the people of Bankhead because they want to get away from Metro Atlanta, and it's a nightmare. All these cities, DC, black female run, nightmare city. Dude, I have been begging black men in this space, and I have taken all sorts of hell and have to go to war with niggas. I've had to unsubscribe from some niggas' channels. Just mad because I'm telling you the truth. You cannot vote Democrat. You don't have to vote Republican. You can vote for whoever you want. You can vote for the Incredible Hulk. I don't care. Just don't vote for people promoting the destruction of our civilization. The people, the state legislature, the Democrats in the state legislature of California, that nightmare blue state, 2 days ago, I believe, just passed a bill that is headed for Governor Newsom's desk. Do you want to know what the bill is? The bill says that if a parent denies their children's desire to transition,
listen to this
surgery,
one. Listen to this.
The state will take the child
away
from the parents.
That's right.
So we have a school system filled with demonic leftist teachers union nightmare horse, okay, who wear rainbow suspenders and have American children pledging allegiance to the fag flag.
To the fag flag. Ooh.
They take the American flag down and have them pledging allegiance to the fag flag. Now, the teacher, your 8-year-old son, if you live in California, God forbid,
laying down some
your
truth here,
8-year-old
boy.
son is a little socially awkward, doesn't really know how to get along with the boys. He's made friends with a couple of the girls. The demonic left-wing feminist teacher sees, well, you know, little Devon, I see you like hanging out with the girls. You play with their tea sets. Your boy is fine. He's just a little socially awkward with the guys. And his teacher tells him, his radical leftist feminist Democrat teachers union teacher tells him, you should become a girl.
Right.
And he becomes excited about the idea. Wow, yeah, so I could be a girl? The girls treat me nicer. I have a little more fun playing with the girls, not knowing he'll probably grow up a ladies' man. But teacher, and you know, teachers have a great deal of influence on their children. I mean, they're with them more than their moms during the course of a day. So teacher
it's true.
Tells little 8-year-old Devon,
5 days a week.
You should become a girl. Little Devon goes home, tells his single mom, I want to be a girl. No, Devon, I know I'm a stupid leftist single mom that's trying to ruin your life, but I won't ruin your life to that degree. You're a boy. You shouldn't be a girl. I'm a Democrat, but I'm not that much of a Democrat. Not yet. I don't want you becoming a girl. That's kind of silly. So he goes back to school the next day and says, well, teach, Miss Rosenblatt, Miss Greenstein.
Yep.
My teacher says, my mom says she doesn't want me to become a girl. So Miss Rosenblatt or Greenstein calls Steve back and says, Devon's mom will not allow him to transition. And now the state will come and take Devon from his mother. What they want to do is get these kids and do you know what to them. Governor Newsom is probably going to sign that into law. If you vote Democrat, I want you to tie a noose and string yourself up in a tree. For me. Thank you.
All right, before I pass it, Nate, you had a screen share that you
yes.
wanted to put up.
This is Eric Adams' Twitter account. Would you like to read that, Bernard?
Yeah, it says we should protect our immigrants, period. Yes, New York City will remain a sanctuary city under an Adams administration. How long ago was 2021. Okay.
He was running for mayor of New York. This is what you get when you vote Democrat. This is what you get when you vote black Democrat.
Yeah, there's your systemic racism.
This is what you get. Now he's crying about it. Now
and
he's
blacks
crying and
perpetuate that system by voting these people back in.
Is on the brink of destruction. All black Democrat-run cities are on the brink of destruction. Join, welcome to the party, Eric. Black man, get the fuck out of these blue states, especially blue states run by black Democrats.
That's right.
Especially black female Democrats. You better be one of the 58% of black people to come and live in the South, and you better leave your disgusting leftist ideology in that blue state.
Yes, sir.
Hey, he laid it down, didn't
Don't
he?
even vote.
Man.
All right, we got Devin Lockett in the
Gotta
building.
vote all them son of
Go
bitches
ahead.
out.
You got the floor. You got the mic.
It's out of hand, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yep.
And everything everybody's saying about the Democrats is absolutely right, man. It's the tool of the small hats. Basically, it's designed to dilute and further disenfranchise, dilute the interests and the demands of the Black American population, and to further disenfranchise us. We do not benefit from immigration, legal or illegal, at all. And no immigration is favorable to the Black American community at all.
Shut it down,
legal
man, at
or
least for a
illegal.
year. Let's do a
I mean,
pause
we
or
really,
something,
you know,
right?
we got to get this mentality that it's, you know, this is the only country in the world where it's normal for people to be born somewhere else and then come live their life here. I mean, no other country thinks that way. No other country has that mentality that immigration is somehow necessary or beneficial, or that the people who already live here are so stupid and incompetent that we have to have an infusion of foreigners, you know, that come from
Well, they're saying
relatively
it's because our
impoverished
replacement
backgrounds
birth rate is so
ours,
low, right? But why is
to
that?
bring us some type of skill sets or something that we don't
Testosterone is
have.
going down, feminizing
Immigration
males,
suppresses
discouraging
wages.
marriage.
Immigration kills labor unions. Immigration gives rich farm owners and business owners the opportunity to exploit labor below the minimum wage, which is established in the laws of this land, and it doesn't benefit anybody. You know, I think one of the smartest things that they could do is ship them off to these blue states so that these, you know, unfortunately stupid Black Democrats see what they're voting for and actually start paying the price for what they're voting for and understand the big picture. Because most of us have good
That's why
sense.
shipping
Most
them
of
up
us
into these
understand that fat
cities
meat
is a good
grease.
idea.
Most of us
You want to
understand
be a
that
sanctuary city?
these people
Sanctuary
don't
away.
even treat the darker brown people in their own lands with respect. So they're not coming here prepared to embrace Black Americans. The only people who hold that foolish, brotherhood against white supremacy, or
welcome to anybody
coalition
just joining
against
us.
Whatever.
I'm Tim, your truth slinger.
Are
We're
dumbass
listening to
American
Black
Negroes.
Conservative
These are
Thought
the
this
same
morning.
people that
Talk about
thought
it if you want
of that came up with Pan-Africanism in the first place.
Like, share, subscribe.
You know, I mean, these are just
Please.
stupid ideas
Appreciate
that are entertained within the Black American psyche. That, you know, somehow all of the other non-white people are just looking at us as, you know, the principal victim of white supremacy and their principal ally to combat white supremacy. Before they get here, they are witnessing television shows and movies that are produced by the small hats that are projecting the images that they want the world to think about us. That's why they have raised thugness and all of that ignorance to be representative of Black American culture. You know, that's why we have the Cardi B's and all of these degenerates. That's why our women are twerking now, right? It's because we allow them to dictate what is Black American culture. So how do you expect them to come here and have any respect for us? You see? How do you expect them to come here and have any respect for us? What they see of us is what has been projected by the small hats as the hierarchy within American society. And they already have a vision of where they want to inject themselves in American society once they get over that wall, once they get here. And that is not side by side with us. Even though they do end up side by side with us in the hood, they don't want to be next to us. Okay, and that whole thing about the immigrants are our allies. That's just a bunch of foolishness, man.
Man, FD Signifier came on here once, and I know, guys.
Trojan horse is what that is, right?
Thoroughly stupid and pathetic.
That's exactly what this immigrant situation
He
is.
literally said out
They're
of his
all
mouth,
military-age men.
Devin, that the Transformers and the homosexuals are our allies in the fight against white supremacy.
That's those are the biggest white supremacists. They believe that the white man is so powerful,
is superior. White people don't believe they're superior. I'm sorry.
Right.
They don't.
Well, think about
No, we don't.
Think about the logic chain that works from that, right? If homosexuals or homosexuality, broadly speaking, is an enemy of the heteronormative cisgendered white patriarchy, right? Then where does that leave black male sexuality? Because here's an interesting thing I've stumbled onto. This is such a weird segue, and I never had a good way to bring this up, so I'm just going to lay it on the table now. Bernard, you and I are both familiar with Professor T.S. Johnson and the whole black male studies field that he's pioneering. Well, him and a few other guys in the university system are pioneering, right? I stumbled onto an interesting flaw, a giant chink in the black male studies armor the other day.
Oh boy. Go ahead.
I know. Don't hate me. Don't hate me.
I already do, man. I already do, man.
All right, fuck it. I'm used to being hated.
Let Dr. T.S. Johnson do his work in peace. All right.
It's not even T.S. directly. It's more a broad criticism of the entire nature of it. And this is why I'm suspicious of anything that is hitched to academia. So anyway, the little spat I got into is they had a show. Actually, that first clip I think I sent you by accident in the back chat, it was like a highlight of one of their Twitter spaces, right? And so the black male studies guys are up there having their Twitter space. And one of their callers just happened to ask them, like, basically, I'm paraphrase, but he was like, listen, how do you intend to, or do you have any intent to like separate basically like the homosexual voices from black male voices? Because the problem is that in academia, the homosexual ideologies and voices are essentially something that you must incorporate and include. And basically, they are not restrictive. It's not a heterosexual exclusive endeavor. Let's put it that way. And so when I gleaned that from that little space, and then the defenses and the conversations that were had, and some of the conversations I myself had with different people who are a part of that black male studies camp, yeah, they aren't really separating black men from the gay black male experience. And my argument is that these are intrinsically different things. The inclusion of homosexuality in a conversation around masculinity by nature weakens the quality of what you are calling masculinity. But the BMS guys don't want to have that conversation, so I don't want to talk to them no more.
Yeah,
they don't want to have.
Hold on, wait. I got you. Just hold on, Nate. I got you because I know you got a lot to say about that. Now, just to be clear, I ain't never heard Dr. T, talk about no gay shit. But however, Hood, you once again you hitting it on the head that if that whole black masculine studies or whatever, if it's coming, if it's out there in academia, the notion of gay black men being shunned from the conversation, or just we don't address that's not going to happen. I've never heard Dr. T saying anything that was treading on that shit. But
because it's not about him. I have no issue with the man whatsoever.
I know. I was just saying that because people in the chat room going back. I just want to make that clear. But that whole enterprise in general, I think you hit the nail on the head. That they're going to come to an impasse out there in academia where they're going to have to include gay men. If they're not, they already are. They probably already are.
People see it. I'm not the one who raised the question. I just noticed the conversation. People see it, and I'm looking at it like, yeah, this not gonna work, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's the same issue with homosexuality, the transformer madness, the same issue. They'll never address the issue of abortion. They'll never really address the issue of single motherhood. They dance around that. Everything comes back to their default setting of the supremacist white man that works at Tire Kingdom making $19 an hour and all the horrible effects that white man has on their lives. And this is why, and I'm not going to say anything negative about somebody else, especially somebody you respect on your channel, Bernard, but these men are given such reverence and held in such high esteem, and they have been voting for the things they rail against, some of them for 40 years. How is this not illogical? Why shouldn't this be addressed? Hood talked about his conversation with BGS. In mine, I asked him, like, how are you voting for the things you railed against? Thousands of hours of content. No answer. When I asked him, when it was me, Hood, BGS, and Black Uru, I said, you talk about racism. Why is it that on a consistent basis, Black conservative men do so well in this country? No answer. Complete crickets and silence. Look, gentlemen, if you're in this space, chances are you agree with a couple of things, okay? My issue, some of us accuse us of whining about women. We don't whine about women. Well, I was confronting a guy a couple of years ago on the channel, and I said, why you keep whining about white people and racism? He said, well, you whine about women. Y'all whine about women. I said, no, we don't whine about women. The Black men in this space have actually been through these issues and problems with Black women. Most of us have. Almost none of you have experienced any type of significant racism. So stop it. Stop with
Hold on, brother. Respectfully, may I ask you this? Now,
Yes,
you're doing
right
a great
ahead.
job illustrating and highlighting the issues, but have you called ICE on the illegal aliens yourself, brother?
I don't know about any illegal aliens in the town I live in South Carolina.
So you're going to ignore the elephant in the
This
room,
is the
brother?
same argument. This is the same argument you get when you say you're against abortion and they ask you how many children have you adopted.
No, I'm not trying to argue.
I was gonna say this is
What you're saying is
Groundhog's Day, bro.
nonsense.
Yeah, I'm not
This
trying to
is
argue.
Groundhog's Day. We've been
town
here
I live
before.
in, the town I live in South Carolina.
I'll tell you, brother.
I don't.
I'm not trying to debate. Let's
The
have a
town I
dialogue
live in.
peacefully.
Y'all, let me finish. I'll answer your question.
You answered it already, brother. Can I
Let me
respond,
answer
brother?
your question, sir.
You already
Let me answer
answered
your
it, but go ahead.
question. No, I didn't. I just crushed your foolish point.
You actually didn't, brother. You said
Wait, hold on, bruh.
destroyed your
Stop
point,
interrupting.
stop.
Let Nate go ahead and respond.
All right, well, can I respond after he done?
Of course.
Please do. I
All
hope
right,
you do. So like I said, it's the same argument when they say, if you're against abortion, how many children have you adopted? In the town I live in, there's no homeless Latino people roaming the streets. I see the occasional homeless white guy, occasional homeless Black guy, and might see a homeless Latino. There's no gangs of migrants hanging out in my red state town in South Carolina. We don't do that in our small town, homie. Go right ahead.
Gotta unmute. Unmuted. Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, bro. I know you like to mute me. Watch how brief my response is. I'm a master at this. The question is,
stop. Hold on, stop. I had to
I
mute
know.
you.
Yeah, you got to stop me. I know.
Hold on, wait, stop.
Yeah.
When Nate was talking, you had background noise, and so I muted you for that.
All right,
now that
brother,
you're done talking, I unmuted you. Go ahead, you got it. Yeah,
all right,
obviously.
and once again, watch how brief the response is, brother. Who working at them construction sites in your country, in your state? It's not illegal aliens. Checkmate.
Oh my.
That's checkmate right there, brother.
You know who? You know who works at the construction sites?
Illegal aliens.
No, it's mostly Black men and white men, and a lot of the demolition and cleanup crews are Latinos.
So why you don't call ICE on them?
How you gonna tell me?
So why you don't call ICE on them? So why you don't call ICE on them? You just said it.
Well, hold on, bro. Let me ask you why is that always your question?
Latinos. I don't know if they're illegals.
Why is that always your question? though? We agree that they should be deported, but why is that always your question? Because there's an accusation. There's an accusation in there.
Bernard, I know you're trying to save his
life.
Let
me hear what Hood is.
Yeah, really. Let him drown, brother.
I'm just saying there's an accusation in the question, so I kind of want to get to the accusation under your question.
It's not an accusation, brother. The question is, we all have identified the problem. My question is, why haven't we taken actions to mitigate it? He just admitted he encounters the Latino cleanup crews. The majority of them are illegal aliens.
How do I know if they're illegals?
That's why you can call ICE to get them to investigate. You choose not to. Checkmate.
Oh my God.
That's checkmate,
you
brother.
Hear this?
You allow them to take over, brother.
So
you
want me to call? You want me to call it?
Yes.
No.
I've done it myself.
You want me to call the Gestapo on a bunch of working men? You want me to call the Gestapo on a bunch of working men? Please shut up.
Hold on, they're taking judgment
through your arguments, you leftists. You come on panels with men and get embarrassed.
Bernard, hold on, Bernard. Why you don't mute him? Look how emotional he is, Bernard.
They hate you, niggas.
All right.
Stupid leftist niggas. You destroy everything. I hate you.
Look how
fucking
feminine he
hate
is,
you,
brother.
niggas.
Let's have the
I
dialogue.
think
You
the
know, dialogue
issue.
with niggas
Yeah,
on the
he's
left.
cooked.
You can't do anything with niggas on the left.
All right, go
You
ahead.
can't
Hood.
talk to them.
He's
You can't
emotional.
teach them.
I
You're
think
a
that
degenerate.
Yeah, we can see
that
you.
energy about calling the police
Good to
on
see you.
random
We're just hanging out.
Latinos that you see,
I think
it would
this
be better
conversation's
it would be
really
better
good.
used trying to like actually stop these migrant shelters from popping up in your neighborhoods. Because I'm with you on sort of calling ICE. If you actually know something going on, I'm not going to be upset with you for actually calling ICE. That's not my issue. But to assume that most of us just know something that we should be calling ICE about is a big assumption. That
Well,
being
brother, when
said,
you
though,
look
the
the other way,
energy.
that's why they.
Hold on, let me finish the thought. That being said, the energy has to be pointed
Yeah,
at
man, I'll put it
something
on
more
whatever, sure.
obvious, like the migrant shelters, because you don't know who's working illegally, but you know all those migrants are here illegally.
All right, can I
I'm gonna
respond,
add
brother?
you as
Watch
a
how brief
Yeah,
my
you
moderator
got it. You
response is.
got it.
I'm
for
really
a
a
minute.
master at this. You all look the other way. That's why illegals take over. Checkmate.
Do you see how
I'm
ridiculous?
with you in the spirit of it. I'm with you in the spirit of
And
it,
you're
but
gonna
you
pose
it's
a
like you
question
coming
now,
up
too.
here to throw
Why is a
shots instead of
clown?
actually be like
All right.
make a serious point. Because honestly, you're
That
not
is the
wrong
point,
that
brother.
Black America. What have I been talking about this whole show then?
All right, man. I can hear you. I can see you, John. Yeah, go ahead. Just I made you a temporary moderator, so you just throw that link up there, man, and I'll put it on for you. We can watch it. Be happy to.
You're
About
one
it
of
the
the
whole
black people.
show.
Hold on,
I
that means you agree
am,
with me.
nigga. What the fuck
That
are you
means you
trying to
agree with me.
point
Nigga's an
out?
idiot.
Hold on,
Right,
slow down.
you
That means
coming
you
up
agree
here
with me,
saying
Bernard.
things we
You're one of
agree
the
with
black people
as
that
if
let it
we
happen.
should fight over them. We are
Exactly.
all
So that
these
means we should call
people.
ICE on them, right?
I'd do anything once, twice if I really like it.
Exactly. So
Both.
that
We
means
are
we should
all
call
that
ICE.
person. So like you pointing this out as if you a
Exactly.
different nigga.
So the solution is, Bernard, we should call ICE, correct?
No, solution
Checkmate.
is
We
to
never
throw
said
niggas
it's
like you
not.
out of the country.
Okay, so why is
We
the
never
brother
said it's
arguing
not,
against
but why are you coming up here to pick a
because
fight when
well,
we
can I answer
actually
that?
agree
I'm
with
not
the
picking a fight.
substance of what you're saying? And you
The
actually the
brother started
same nigga
arguing.
that's saying we
No,
let
no,
it
no, no.
happen.
You're
He
You
started
let it
arguing
happen
with me.
too.
He
nigga.
started arguing with me. I
I've
came in
forgotten
peace.
more than you've ever
I
known.
came in peace, brother.
I
You
have
see that,
forgotten
Bernard?
more than you'll ever know.
He's being
Well, you
emotional.
didn't come in peace either,
Yeah,
but
I
I
am
got it.
emotional. I
big
hate
name.
you leftist black men.
Yeah.
I hate
You're a
you.
little big
He's
name.
being
Hold
emotional.
on.
Yes.
Okay, so you want us to call ICE, correct?
Yes, we all have an obligation to do it.
Okay, hold on. So let me see. The city of New York,
Yes.
takes a school,
Yes.
gives it to the immigrants to live in,
Exactly.
correct?
Exactly.
The city of New York takes a
Yes.
school,
Yes.
gives it to the city to live in,
Exactly.
which means the city knows that they're there.
The city, not the federal government.
Hold on.
Yes.
You're saying checkmate, bro. You're
getting
not
cooked right now,
checkmating
brother.
anything.
Yes, brother. You getting cooked, but I'm listening.
Gay. I believe it's gay.
Like, here's the thing. If the city of New York
Yes.
is housing these people writ large
Yes.
with money from the federal government, because Eric Adams is begging the federal government for money.
Not ICE, right?
What
Checkmate.
is calling
that's
ICE
checkmate right
going
there.
to do
Well, can I
when the
respond? I'll tell you
federal
what I do.
government and the
Can I answer
city
your
is
question? Can I
housing
answer your
these
question?
people?
Watch how brief my answer
Exactly.
is.
You
I'm really a
can't call
master
the
at this.
feds on the
Watch how
feds,
brief
bro.
Well, can I answer his question?
Can we have a bounty, please?
Are y'all under 25? Y'all very immature, brother. I mean, are y'all under 25?
Dude,
Bernard, how old are
immature.
you?
You're the guy keeps saying
I'm trying to answer the
everything
question.
he says.
Just ask the question.
Can I,
Ask
Make
the
no
question.
valid points
Well,
whatsoever.
no, you
Can
have
I
a
answer?
question to answer, please.
Yeah, can I answer the question? Watch how brief it is. I'm a master at this. Yes, ICE is a federal agency, not the city of New York. Checkmate. Call ICE. The federal
This is
government.
madness. This is
You did not understand.
Thank you.
5 years ago, Bernard.
I heard enough.
Bernard,
It was
behind the
about
scenes.
time. I was gonna ask why y'all was entertaining, the son of the single motherhood. Like,
Bernard, 5.5 years ago, I told you on the your panels, your conversations. They won't let anybody else speak. Yeah, I get emotional. I have been battling these Luciferian niggas for over 20 years now. And I hate them. They come up, they derail conversations. They add nothing to the conversations. They bring no facts. They don't bring an alternative point to what more right-leaning men will say. Their mothers taught them everything. That's it. And they're going to represent what is in the best interest of white liberals
Raised by a woman.
and mama. And that's all
No,
they're going to do.
that guy is a anti-black Latino, like the ones coming across the border, and he goes around to black panels pretending like he's cooking black men.
Oh, he's gone already. Oh man, I just missed him. Man, I wanted.
You wanted to ask him something?
Oh, Big Brother Coon.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Oh, SKC, he was in the back. I brought
you know, he put me backstage when I cook, y'all. But go ahead, brother. You know he gonna put me backstage again when I cook, y'all.
Come on. Calm down. Be back. SKC wanted to ask you a question. Go ahead, SKC.
Can I answer, or are you gonna mute me? Just so I'm clear. Can I answer this question when you ask me?
I only mute you when somebody else talking and you breathing hard on the mic in the background.
I'm not breathing on the mic at all. Pause.
I don't know.
Literally, I got your speakerphone, checkmate. But when he asked the question, can I respond?
Of course you can.
All right, let him go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So to Mr. Checkmate.
Yes.
Your answer to this was to call ICE, right?
Definitely.
Okay. Why?
Bro, what? Stop it.
This
Why
nigga
do I
said
hear
why?
win? Why do I hear win whenever somebody else start talking? Stop doing that on purpose. I'm gonna boot you, man. You trolling.
He's climbing over that border wall. That's what he's
Man,
doing.
I live at the beach. Let him ask the question. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the beach stopped beaching when you talking, but it only beach when somebody else talking.
No, I had myself on mute, brother. I mean, let the beach beach. Goddamn, don't be jealous that you live in a goddamn state somewhere where there's no beach landlocked.
All right,
go ahead.
See, this is why you get booted, bro.
Why do you? Okay,
Go
so
ahead,
why is ICE your solution? I'm curious.
Yes, because our taxes pay for ICE to mitigate this issue.
Okay, the issue that you're trying to mitigate is what?
Illegal immigration, brother. Have you not heard the conversation?
No, I'm just chiming in.
Yes.
I'm just chiming in, but I heard your solution to everything was ICE. So I'm curious. You said the solution is to call ICE, right?
It's not rocket science, brother. Yes.
Okay. What happened if people don't call ICE?
Well, you'll continue to be flooded by illegal aliens like you are right now. And
Wait, you think ICE doesn't know where these shelters are? You think ICE doesn't know that there are shelters in all these major cities? Like ICE doesn't watch the news.
Do you know why they
ICE doesn't look at news reports. They don't watch press releases.
Can I answer that, brother?
Like ICE can't enforce the law unless somebody calls them.
I thought you had a question, brother. Can I answer your question?
Hood, I just want to hear his thoughts on that. I'm trying to
answer the question. Goddamn.
Why he believes
now Hood conservative. To answer your question, brother, the reason ICE twiddles their thumbs because many U.S. citizens such as yourselves don't call them and make demands on them. So yes, they can twiddle their thumbs 8 hours a day, every day, 40 hours a week. Yes, because y'all not putting pressure on them. I called them and I got over 47 illegal aliens deported myself, brother, and I'm one man. So I know y'all can do it.
I don't believe you for a minute.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. So he was able to get 40. So he was able to get 47.
Yes. And I tell you how I did it. Can I tell you how I did it?
No. I believe you. Let's just take everything.
All right. Yes.
That you were 100% correct. That's how you. Okay. But what happened if there's people that don't want to do it?
Well, then you'll continuously be flooded by illegal aliens, brother. That's it.
Okay. But what happened if they can benefit from that?
Well, actually, and I'm glad you asked me that. And can I answer without being interrupted? It'll take 10 seconds. Can I answer without being interrupted? Really? The response is, how does illegal immigration benefit African Americans when the total number of African American congressional districts is decreasing due to the influx of illegal aliens? How does it benefit you? You're losing your cities.
No, okay. Maybe you're not smart enough to figure that out.
All right, well, will you highlight it? How does it benefit you to lose your cities and congressional districts as a black man? Please tell me.
Well, because you don't understand it,
I'm asking you, brother. Yeah, articulate.
I don't think that you're smart enough to handle.
So you don't have the answer. All right. So does anyone else on the panel have the answer to that?
So there it is. Check and make.
Well, do you have the answer, brother?
Understand how he could benefit from it.
How does it benefit us? I'm asking.
No, I'm asking you. Figure it out.
I said it doesn't.
Do the math just like you did.
No, I said it doesn't benefit us. We're losing our communities, brother.
Did the math for the other side.
Exactly, brother.
You understand the SWOT analysis, right? You understand the SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats. Show us the strengths and the opportunities.
I didn't say it's any strength.
Right?
No, I say it's no strength. Checkmate. So if you say it's strength,
so you're stating.
So what's the strength then? What's the strength?
So you're stating that there are no people that are benefiting from this.
I'm saying collectively as African Americans, we do not benefit from illegal immigration.
You're
Checkmate.
stating that there are
I answered your
people that
question
are
more than once,
benefiting
brother.
from this.
I answered your question more than once. Collectively as African Americans,
there are people. Then there are people like me who don't believe in the collective and who are benefiting.
Clearly, yeah, that's why you're being bred out. Yes, the future is mulattoes.
So then your win is only by collectivism.
No, my win is that the majority of the U.S. will be mulattoes in less than 50 years.
Only by collectivism.
Well, no, my win is individual. I got a house in Puerto Rico right now that I'm at the beach.
Okay, so you're not even in the States, and you're winning at an individual level.
Puerto Rico part of the U.S.
Other people who can figure out how to do the same.
What the fuck? You got a
dumb nigga.
Puerto
Rico part of the U.S.
How are you deporting people in the U.S. from Puerto Rico?
Explain that to him because he's a dumb nigga.
A fucking federal agent, man.
Puerto Rico
This
part of the
nigga
U.S.
is a whole op right now.
I'll check y'all guys later.
Could you share my screen, Bernard,
Yeah,
please?
yeah, you're dumb.
All right.
Puerto Rico is a part of the U.S. He had to run away. He's a dumb
Right,
nigga.
and you deporting people out of Puerto
is
Rico,
anyone
which
able-
ain't even actually a
No,
state.
not from Puerto Rico.
I'm just
Puerto Rico,
saying,
no,
like,
from
you
the
must be some type of high
No,
level
not
CIA
from Puerto
nigga.
Rico. You're not listening. I got people deported from the mainland U.S.
Hey, Bernard.
Puerto Rico. He's probably a Coney Island.
Bernard, can I go over this real quick? Because it'll shut him up. Well, it probably won't, but I think it will.
Go through that. Please go through that.
Biden, and this is NPR. This is a completely left-wing,
Yeah, we see it, brother. Go ahead, read.
Media outfit. Biden tries to rein in ICE. New rules limit who immigration agents target for arrest. I'll read the first paragraph. After 4 years of former President Trump's immigration crackdown, the Biden administration on Thursday announced new guidelines that are expected to sharply limit arrests and deportations carried out by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Under the guidance, ICE agents and officers have been told to prioritize threats to national security and public safety when deciding whom to arrest, detain, and deport. ICE officials said the guidelines is intended to help the agency allocate its limited resources to cases what the public cares about most. So if the illegals aren't planning to blow up a building or knock down some towers, they'll get to do whatever they want. Biden tries to rein in ICE. That's your federal government, right? Checkmate guy. His new rules limit who they can arrest.
Exactly, limit. It doesn't mean that they are able to just live freely illegally, brother. It says limit.
This is what I mean. You can't call the feds on the feds. It's not how that works.
Actually, illegal aliens are not.
And this is another thing too. We are kind of getting past the point of actual, like, I'm just gonna pick up a phone and make a complaint and that'll solve the problem. Nigga, what do you think this is? We are way down that rabbit hole.
Can we
all right, real quick. I don't think we've heard from Face Facts yet, and somebody new just came on the panel, and we're probably gonna wrap it up pretty soon. But I'll make sure I get them a word in, let them get a word in edgewise. So go ahead, Face Facts.
Yeah, what's going on? Salute to the panel.
Salute.
That single mother raised male thinks he can just pick up the phone and call the feds on people because that's what his mother did to his daddy. If you make a false report to the feds, they can lock you up for that. And Captain Puerto Rico over there doesn't know that the only difference between an illegal immigrant and a legal immigrant is if you're willing to register. Those are the only people that they deport. Even if you come over here illegally, once ICE catches you, as long as you're willing to register, they will allow you to stay. What happens is a lot of people who come over, that are working for the cartels, don't want to register. So those are the people that they send back. But they send them back, and then they just come back over with different paperwork. So that's why the states are overwhelmed and why they're asking for all this money. They're not, like Eric Adams is not asking for money to house all these migrants. What he's asking for money is to pay all these women and have these pseudo welfare jobs to process all these immigrants. They're not sending them anywhere. That's what that money's for. It's to pay those pseudo welfare jobs that are held by a lot of these women, especially black women. That's why they keep voting Democrat, and to give them affordable housing vouchers because the rents in New York City are ridiculous. You'll pay $2,000 for a studio apartment in New York in a bad neighborhood. So
real quick, bro. Think about this. Think about this dynamic, which you just mentioned. So the government is going to take money from men, all the men, but let's say black men right now. The government's taking your money so these women can have jobs, facilitating these men to come here to take your jobs and your money.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. Yeah, you made a great
done.
point. I'm done.
Share my screen again. I got another screen share for you.
Shout out to the black women. Shout out to them.
All right. To those saying all you got to do is call ICE, you know that the average wait time now is 10 years. Immigrants waiting 10 years in U.S. just to get a court date. So the illegal immigrant would get to stay here and do whatever they're going to do for 10 years. Why call ICE? There's a good chance some of us will be dead in 10 years. And if we vote Democrat, it's almost an assurity. Checkmate. Thank you.
And just to compare and contrast, and again, I don't have any official documentation on this. I just know at the time that when Trump got in office, I was dating a girl from Kenya, and I remember she was saying that this was like 2016. I remember she was saying that people was going in, like, let's just say if they came here and they overstayed their visa, but they still wanted to try to, they were trying to stay here. So they was going in for their review or to try to, get legal or start the process and all of that. When they were going in there and was getting deported, so it turned into a situation where like she was walking around legit scared. And that was when I found out. That's how I found out. I was like, oh shit, you illegal? I didn't know that. But no, I found that out back then. And I was like, whoa. Like it was serious shit. It was serious shit back then. Cause I knew a lot of people. Most of the Kenyans that I was around, most of them was legal, but it's like you could tell the ones that was illegal and they was nervous as hell when Trump was in office. So it was like a completely different environment. Completely different
lowest immigration.
And that's how you want the illegals, by the way. That's how you want the immigrants. They got to be a little bit nervous for the first couple of years. They're not really secure yet. I like that.
Yeah, you know what?
He's
Nick
right.
Taylor,
He's
that's,
right.
That's low key how I felt after I found out. No, nobody ever lived with me. Ain't nobody stashed in my basement. But I was, we were seeing each other, and I was like, oh shit, you illegal. It was like, yeah. So yeah, that was
like, listen. You better talk to me nice, man. You illegal in this bitch.
All immigrants should be few and humble.
Yeah,
during the Trump administration, there was a 90%, 90% drop in illegal immigration. 90. America first. Look, he's not Black America first. I'm sorry. If you want a president that's Black America first, I don't know what to tell you. But if you're an American, a president that puts America first, the American businessman, the American worker, chances are, if you consider yourself an American, you will benefit.
That's right.
And yesterday I did a stream.
The Black American, white American.
I had all these videos of Black women and Black men, dudes, urban dudes,
we should have been
in the inner
way
city.
Past this.
All of them, man. Trump's my
Thanks
dog.
to Obama, we're back
man,
there.
Trump's my nigga. Man, Trump's wanted niggas to get money. Nigga, it filled my heart with such glee and pride. And the stream was about Black women voting Trump, though. And I asked when my stream started, I said, okay, Black man, so if we have growing numbers of Black women willing to vote Trump and niggas on the left follow the political leadership of said Black women, is it okay for you now to vote for Donald Trump? You leftist niggas that follow Black female political leadership. Do you feel okay now? You still might get to come to the barbecue after all.
Little Big Nate, here's the thing though, those numbers aren't really going. Listen, they're going to go in there and vote Democrat. You might get 1% to 2%. All this.
That is a fact. You can't trust these lovely ladies, man. I don't trust them, not one bit.
I'm holding out hope, gentlemen. I have enough hope to fill the palm of my right hand.
I think you're on something, Nate.
There is no Black America. There is no Black America. Remember, Black women aren't Black people. Ice Cube found out the hard way.
That's a fact.
All right. We going
Black
into
women are Black women.
All right, we're going to Lord Love Smith. I believe I got your name right down there. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I do agree in calling ICE on these illegals. Definitely, if he can confirm that they're illegals, definitely call ICE because they are driving down our property value, taking up our parking spaces. And these people that drive these ugly trucks with a bunch of drunk inside of it makes our neighborhood look ugly. So yeah, I am for calling ICE on these people. But with regards to black women voting Democrat, nah, it's just a talking point right now to get black men engaged. I don't trust Keisha. I can't trust her one bit. Why would she switch? Why would she switch at last minute? The Democrats are giving her everything she wanted, or at least the illusion. So why would she switch now? I don't trust Keisha, man. I can't do it.
I got an echo. What's up with that?
Yeah, I think that's Lord. Yeah, that's gentleman at the bottom, Lord
okay.
Love Smith. His stuff was echoing, but all right. But yeah, it's 1:30. We meant to only go 2 hours, but it got a little interesting, got a little fun. But shout out to everybody in the building. Do appreciate each and every one of you.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, guys. Let's see who's watching. Yeah, we just got one person hanging out. So it's probably AT. I don't know. Let me see. I figure out. There's no way to tell who's watching, is there? Except they identify themselves. So I'm going to shut it down. I think that the Black Conservative talk's over, and I need to pay attention to reading in a chapter or two before I go to dinner tonight, right? Keep my boss happy. So, and I'm not working as fast as I could be if we're not streaming. So, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. We may go back live tonight. I don't know. We'll see. It is the weekend. Something might pop off. So, again, make sure you...
I got rights!
Remember, you got rights, right? And you stick with us and keep coming back. And thanks for all the love, man. Right? So, I am the Truth Slinger, and I'm out.